button, start, select, right, left bumper. Right, left bumper are these buttons here, and here are your triggers, A, B, X, Y. Then over here, E, let me get in a little closer so you can see. You have a turbo function, and these 4 LED lights indicate all 4 buttons of the arcade stick. So you could essentially assign a turbo to any of these 4 buttons. Turbo, I'm sure you know what it is, but if you don't, turbo indicates that instead of rapidly pressing a button in succession, you can just hold a button down and the character will repeat the action as fast as they possibly can. So it's ideal for, I guess, Chun-Li's lightning kick or E Honda's hand slap. I don't use turbo, but it's just a feature that you could note there. Got 2 toggle switches up here. You have a toggle, let me get in a little closer. I don't know if you can see that, but this indicates, oh god, that's a little blurry, but anyways, it toggles 3 different positions. Position 1 is going to be LS, meaning left stick. Middle indicates DP for D-pad, and RS in the 3rd position indicates right stick. This toggle in particular controls the joystick. So if you have it on LS, essentially the controller is telling the Xbox, hey, this stick is the left analog stick on an Xbox 360 controller. Same as for the D-pad, it's like, hey, I'm the D-pad. And RS will toggle the right analog stick. So it's pretty nice if you are navigating through the Xbox 360 in the marketplace and whatever, and you might need the function of the right analog stick. With this arcade stick, you have that. Just toggle it to RS or LS, whatever. I usually leave it on D-pad because I only use this for Street Fighter 4 or any other fighting game that I own. Moving along, we have another toggle right here that indicates a lock function. It's on unlocked right now, and if you toggle it to the left, it means locked. Essentially what this does is it either unlocks or locks this entire module here on the controller. So I usually have it on unlocked because my hands don't go over in this direction, but if you're in a play session and you feel like you're going to button mash a lot, you could toggle this to lock, and if you're button mashing, I don't even know how you could play a fighting game like this, but if your hand happens to come over here, all these buttons are disabled. So the guide button is disabled and the turbo button is disabled, meaning that even if your hands move along over here, you won't push it because it's locked. So it's a pretty nice safety feature that they included on there. It's the same mentality as the start and select off the face. They want you to be in the fight and not have any disruptions. One dislike that I absolutely cannot stand about this stick, at least not for myself because I have a wireless Xbox 360 headset, but for those who buy this stick and they have a wired Xbox 360 headset, it's going to be a little cumbersome because unlike the EX2 from Hori, the headphone jack on this is shaped so that it fits the wired headset perfectly. On this one, it's a little different. I guess they went for design over function on this one, but I don't know. The headphone jack, as stated right there, is exactly right here. It's not shaped to fit the wired headset exactly. But what does come with this arcade stick is an actual headset adapter that you plug into here, and then it'll fit onto your wired headset. It's one of the gripes I have about this, and I wish that they would have went in a direction of this or something else, because this is something that I just don't understand. But who am I to say? I have the wireless headset, but there have been some cases where I ran out of battery and I had to use the wired one. But that's the basic rundown of the arcade fight stick for Street Fighter 4 made for Mad Catz. Another thing to note, if you're gonna buy this stick and you're hoping to recreate the Street Fighter 4 Tournament Edition, just simply because, hey, if you buy the stick, it's like, hey, I don't like these buttons, I don't like the joystick, I want to replace the joystick and the buttons for Sanwa components. This stick retails for $70, 70 US dollars, and the Tournament Edition retails for 150 US dollars. To buy this for $70 and to buy 8 Sanwa buttons and a Sanwa JLF joystick, I've done the math on a couple of arcade suppliers' websites, and the amount of money you're going to pay for this arcade stick and the buttons is going to be about $10 or $20 more than you would if you were to buy a Tournament Edition. So it's going to be around 170 and up, depending on who you buy. Just keep that in mind. If you buy this stick, or even the EX2, you're probably buying them because they're going to be your first arcade stick. The customizing on the EX2 in particular is not that great. It's basically, if you open it from the bottom, I wish I had a video showing you this, but on the bottom, the components on the inside are very different from this. This was designed from the ground up for the user to be able to actually remove the bottom, and you could replace the buttons and the joystick, swap it in, very easy. All the components, there's a lot of, like the buttons in particular, are soldered to the PCB, as opposed to this, where it's a little toggle switch where you could toggle it off the button and pop it off and pop in a new one. This one's a little different, and the buttons are they're not industry sized, so it's going to be very hard to find replacement buttons for this and even the joystick. That's basically it for the standard edition fight stick from Mad Catz. And now we have the big guy. Okay, so this is a rundown of the Street Fighter 4 Tournament Edition arcade fight stick from Mad Catz. Exact same company that made the standard edition fight stick. They share a lot of similarities, but there's a couple of neat little features that make this well worth the $150 that you're going to be paying for it.